A lot of people think that kibble will clean a dog's teeth. And to be honest with you, it's not true. Kibble, by definition, is very high in carbohydrates, as much as 70% carbohydrates, which is not a naturally appropriate amount of carbohydrates to be in a dog diet. And what that does is it actually supports the wrong type of flora, both in their gut and in their mouth. And the wrong flora can actually lead to dental issues. You know, the other two things about dry dog food, if you've ever watched most dogs eat, they actually really don't chew that much. Usually they're just picking up the food and swallowing it, so it's not like they're chewing on it and it's cleaning their teeth. And furthermore, even when they do chew it, you know, if you take a piece of kibble and you squeeze it hard enough, what happens? It shatters. So when a dog bites down on these things, the kibble just kind of explodes and shatters. It's not actually scrubbing their teeth clean. So at the end of the day, there are a lot of ways to keep a dog's teeth clean. Kibble is not really one of them. Myth number 2, all human food is bad for dogs. This one always makes me scratch my head. The thing about dogs is it's the same thing with all animals, which is we all evolved eating fresh whole foods. No animal on the planet evolved eating processed food out of a can or out of a bag. So why we would think that the food that we as humans are eating is categorically bad for dogs is a mystery to me. Clearly, humans and dogs do not eat exactly the same thing, and there certainly are things in the human diet that we would not want to feed a dog, including things like onions, garlic, grapes, raisins, anything that's particularly spicy. All of those things can cause problems in dogs. But that said, fresh whole foods, be it meat or vegetables, they're great for dogs. It is important that dogs are eating a properly balanced diet, but beyond that, fresh food, just like you and I would eat, is great for dogs. Myth number 3, all carbs are bad for dogs. There's a couple of ways to look at this, but I think the place where we should start is dogs are not wolves. They kind of split off, evolutionarily speaking, a very long time ago, and dogs are a lot more evolutionarily adapted to eat carbohydrates than are wolves. That said, dogs have no specific nutritional requirement for carbohydrates, meaning that they could do just fine without them, but an appropriate amount of carbohydrates and the appropriate type of carbohydrates can be very healthy for them. The problem with a lot of commercial pet foods, especially kibble, these formulas are 60 or 70% carbohydrates, which is dramatically more than they should be eating. And also they tend to be very simple carbohydrates, corn, rice, wheat, these sorts of things. When we're looking at healthy carbohydrates for dogs, we're looking at things, more whole grain, things that have fiber in them. Sweet potato is a really, really great example of a really healthy carbohydrate for dogs. Dogs absolutely can have a certain amount of carbohydrates in their diet. It can be very, very healthy. We just don't want it to be too much, and we don't want it to be the wrong kind of carbohydrates.